A grueling, night shoot in the middle of winter, which people hated. The girls hated it. People were whinging and complaining.
Oh shit. No.
Being in that uncomfortable state or place got them angry and ultimately got them to the place they needed to be to do this film, which is so gritty and so hardcore. And what I'd noticed within the film industry of late is that the female heroes or heroines are becoming much more predominant than the male heroes. Now obviously with Uma Thurman with Kill Bill, Angelina Jolie with Tomb Raider, etc, etc. So I thought, well, why not take that gang principle but make them all women and throw them into an environment where they are going to have to take justice into their own hands. And to me it had to be a revenge story, and it had to be gritty and gruesome, and it had to be horror. And it had to be horror for the simple reason that that's not only the genre I grew up with, it's the genre I love. What I've seen happen with Saw and many other films as well that are set within the one space, like Pi or Cube, one-room films, can be interpreted sometimes as a film that's, you're almost a fly on the wall, or you're an observer, or it could be a documentary sometimes, or I wanted that real effect. I wanted it to be gritty. I wanted it to look like it could even be a snuff film. And it's like, where did this footage come from? And also shooting in the environment that's so old, it possibly could look like a film that came out of the 70s. I told her about this idea that I'd been tinkering with about, girls and revenge and horror and all these themes. And she said, we should just do that film. And I just knew straight away she was the lead. She'd wanted to act in a decent sized role for a while, and this was her moment. Crystal's the most barbaric character and probably most violent, I believe, in the film. And I needed an actress who understood me and my material, who could go to those levels. So having my sister act in that role was perfect, because straight away she knew that if it was going to be hardcore, she'd go the distance and she wouldn't feel bad about it, or she wouldn't have inhibitions about it. She could just do it because she understands my genre. Obviously the big kind of X factor to shooting was who was going to play the guy. An extremely challenging part where this person was going to have to be strung up in some serious pain, being uncomfortable, cold, like his hands are up like this, it's just some serious hard stuff. And to be honest, most of the male actors that I know probably could not have coped with that. It's also not a nice role to have to play, because you're playing this perpetrator, you're playing this serial rapist. And I knew straight away that as soon as I started to cast this role, no one was going to do it. He hadn't acted for quite a while. He'd had a small part in Hide and Seek, but then the last time he'd acted for anything for me was years, but it was 10 years ago or something, when we'd done The Hidden. So it was a matter of sort of him getting back into the groove and coming up to speed with the rest of the girls, which in the end he did. And by the end of the film, he absolutely blew me away. Going through all of that physical pain gave him that motivation to actually be this prick of a character just for that moment, which was incredible, because if you meet him in real life, he's the nicest guy you've ever met in your life. Jenny has acted in Gallipoli and Picnic at Hanging Rock, and had recently done a horror film called Darkness Falls, and seemed one of the nicer actors at her level and at her age that might actually do something independent. And so I just asked her, I told her about the idea, and she said, no, they'd be delighted to do anything for you. And I was like, well, that's incredible. This is almost another childhood dream coming true, because he's an actor from my favourite TV show who's going to act in my first feature film. This is great. And it was a very small part, obviously. She plays the mum of Naomi and comes into play, in the final. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. Some people, they get a bit of a cabin fever about it, but at the end of the process, those people that stay within that paradigm and follow it through have the best rewards. And everyone that's come along and done a film like that with me has always said, oh God, that experience is incredible. Can we do it again?